2, 6 most disturbing cows. Like and subscribe on my number. Non-subscribers, please subscribe. Let's get to 100 subscribers or more. Or even better, 1 million subscribers will be even better. Let's do this.
Venturing deeper inside the cave, Matt crawls into the different holes he finds to see if any of them lead anywhere. Around this time, he started hearing a couple of rocks falling near the entrance and the sound of some sort of animal walking around. At one point in the video, he mentions he feels like he's being watched, and things get a little more disturbing at around 11 p.m. when he begins to eat his baked beans for dinner.
That is beautiful. Baked beans in a haunted cave. Oh my God. That was the sound. That is the sound. Did you hear that? Look at my arms. I got full goosebumps. It's the chains moving when I climb down the ladder. It's a big, heavy, thick chain. Wind can't move that. Holy.
When Matt recorded this video, it wasn't a windy night at all, and the fact that the chain's moving can only mean that there's someone or something down there with him.
That chain moved just then. It is 100% now. I heard it before. I'm 100% certain it's the chain that I walked in, that you climbed down into this cave on. It's moving. Now, you can't move that chain with wind. It's way too heavy. There is no wind coming in here. There's no wind even for Holy.
No.
Oh my God. Look. You must have heard that just then. Look at my arms, dude. Oh, this is fucked. Okay. Well, I've got my backpack back on and I'm booting on out of here. I just heard a sound. It's not normal. It's definitely not a normal sound and I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours after I checked in with you guys, so it would be around 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and that sound was not normal. I'm getting out of here.
After the creepy noises subside, he changes his mind about leaving the cave and decides to spend the rest of the night near the entrance. A couple of hours later, he reported hearing hissing sounds that sounded like human voices, but after walking around the cave, he couldn't find anything that could be making those noises. Aside from big animals, the worst thing that could have happened to Matt is to have come across a hostile squatter living in the cave, although it's unclear why anyone would want to live down there. Fortunately, he made his way out of the cave safely as soon as the sun rose, and never went back to that cave again. Roadie is a channel dedicated to off-the-grid living, in which the uploader usually posts videos about what life is like living out of his truck and traveling around the country. The videos are usually pretty cool, with an emphasis on the beauty of nature and independent living. But this particular video is a bit more disturbing than the rest. In December 2017, Roadie uploaded footage of an incident that took place earlier that year while he was car camping in a parking lot. At around 1:30 a.m., a hooded man started walking around his truck and taking pictures of his license plates. Because the back of the truck where the uploader was sleeping was pretty much pitch black, the man probably didn't see anyone in there and continued to suspiciously walk around the truck for several minutes, unaware that he was being recorded. After a while, the man makes his way to the side of the truck and tries to shine the flashlight inside, which is when the uploader decides to take action to protect himself and let the man know he's there. Immediately after the uploader bangs his fist on the inside of the truck, the suspicious man runs away. It's unclear what exactly he planned to do, but based on his behavior, it couldn't have been anything good, and he was probably planning a carjacking. Fortunately, the uploader was able to get away safely and spend the night elsewhere. Gary and Amica are a father-daughter duo from Scotland who make videos about their travels around Europe in their camper van. The videos are usually pretty wholesome and entertaining, but in this particular video, Gary and Amica had a pretty disturbing encounter. This footage was uploaded in March of 2023 during a trip to Tensmuir Forest in North Fife, Scotland. As they were walking through the woods, Amica told her dad she heard voices somewhere near them, and after searching for a while, this is what they found.
We just stopped and had a look in these woods. Look at how scary that is. Put the torch on. He's even one on the ladders.
Oh, there's someone lying on the ground. Without
Falling
any
over. Look at the one on the ladders going up the tree.
Oh, yeah, that's creepy.
What about the washing line over there to the left? Yeah, there. Keep it there. That is weird, isn't it?
There's one over there that isn't actually a person. There's a doggy there.
In addition to dozens of creepy mannequins dressed up in costumes, they came across some pretty unsettling paintings hanging outside the little cabin in the middle of the woods. I did some research and found several other channels that featured the strange cabin, but the only information I could find was that the mannequins and paintings were probably set up there at some point in 2021. It's unknown what exactly the purpose of all this is, but whoever set it up clearly went through a lot of trouble to make it as creepy as possible. As Gary and Amica make their way out of the woods, a car starts to approach them from the other side, and Gary starts to get a little freaked out. Fortunately, they were able to make it back to the van without having to cross the car's path. As of this video's upload, there have been no further updates on the creepy discovery.
I just want to talk about how easy it is to make money in 2025. A hot take, but as long as you've got an internet connection and a laptop, which everyone...
In 2018, a YouTuber named John uploaded this video to his channel Lost Lakes, in which he posts about his backcountry camping adventures in Canada. The video was taken at around 3:30 a.m. at a remote location west of Chapleau, Ontario, where, according to John, there was no cell phone signal.
Well, I am living every solo camper's nightmare right now. There appears to be an animal of some kind pacing around my tent. It's the middle of the night, and then around 3:30 I started to hear this pacing sound, and 45 minutes later it's still just pacing around out there.
Considering he was camping in a remote location in the black bear capital of the world, it's very likely that there was a bear or some other large animal outside the tent. Although it's rare for bears to attack campers, it has been known to happen. Other animals such as moose or wildcats can also pose a threat to campers if they ever feel threatened or provoked, and in those cases, a feeble camping tent won't offer a lot of protection against an angry 600-pound animal. It's much more common for people to be harassed by other people than by animals, but in this case, the footsteps don't sound very human. To maintain sanity, John shows his viewers the things he brought along on his camping trip to protect himself against animals, which include a hatchet, bear spray, and an air horn. Near the end of the video, he mentions his car is right outside the tent, but he can't find his key and probably left it in the car. But in the end, he slept through the night safely. He never found out what exactly was walking around his tent that night. Most campers will say they're more afraid of running into ill-intentioned people rather than aggressive animals on their camping trips, and this footage is the perfect example of why. Love Sundays is a channel run by a man named Sean who uploads videos of his solo camping adventures in the UK. In a video he uploaded in September 2022, he shows what happened one night when he camped on the side of the road in Cornwall. Technically, he wasn't supposed to be camping there due to parking regulations, so he made every effort possible to make it seem less obvious that he would be spending the night on the side of the road. Before the sun sets, he goes into his van and starts making dinner, making as little noise as possible to avoid unwanted attention. At around 9 p.m., he turns off the lights and goes to bed. Everything seems to be going just fine, but at around 2 a.m., Sean's night takes a pretty unsettling turn.
I just heard something outside.
You can't see, get out there.
Okay, I think they've gone. They literally tried to get in the van. It wasn't just a knocking, they were trying the handle.
It's not uncommon for solo campers to be asked to move somewhere else in the middle of the night, especially when you're parked somewhere where you're not supposed to be. But in this case, it's highly unlikely that this was a police officer or some other person with the authority to tell him to move, as in these cases, they would almost always knock first and announce themselves verbally. Once they have your attention, they'll ask you to leave, but they won't just walk up to a van on the side of the road and start trying the door handle without announcing their intentions. It's much more likely that someone was trying to break into Sean's van. Luckily, whoever was trying to break in left after only a few seconds, and Sean wasn't bothered by them again. These kinds of encounters can be extremely disturbing, but luckily Sean woke up the next morning unharmed and was on his way to his next destination shortly after.
Exploring with Fighters is a content creator from the UK. Fighters doesn't regularly make camping content, though after this, he'd be sure not to go camping again. It started when Fighters decided to revisit the Epping Forest, infamous for being haunted. A full moon hung in the sky. As they were driving to the forest, Fighters noticed something wrong with his car. Fighters parked his car next to an old, creepy-looking church. There wasn't much surrounding the area. They ventured into the forest and found a spot to begin a fire and set up their tent. Fighters began making a meal by the tent and cooking up his food. It was just a regular camp until they started to eat.
It makes it all worthwhile. All the hard work that went into it. Oh! What's that?
Can if you want. As I go up the hill. Oh, there's Josh.
was that? A branch or something. I've been for a bit, but I haven't heard anything like that all night. That's what worries me.
So when something's triggered on the camera, it takes about 2 or 3 second delay, so I didn't actually catch whatever was thrown at the tent. But check this out, I did see this. In the bottom right corner, something comes into the frame. There was definitely someone there, and it looks like they just take a look what was going on. And as Flex pops his head out to take a look, they dart off into the darkness. Now this is quite a scary thought.
Something had attacked the tent with the two of them inside of it. Fighters stayed quiet and didn't move out of the tent for a few moments while he tried to think rationally about what it was. They later checked the security footage and noticed someone outside of their tent. They stayed there overnight, unharmed, and in the morning searched around the tent, but nothing was there. Uploaded to the abandoned YouTube channel Meta Addison 11 years ago is a video of an anonymous recorder and their friends in the Umatilla Indian Reservation. The group were enjoying their evening out when they started hearing an evil and eerie cackling coming from the woodland.
These guys are braver than me. Oh no, it's right over there. No!
The filmer and her friends surrounded the woodlands as they listened out to try and find out what the sounds actually were, but the voices continued.
Finally get to hear it. Go ahead.
The group started to walk towards the sounds as the sounds continued. It sounded human, but they couldn't tell if it was suffering or if it was male or female. Someone in the group responded, and as they did, it was the last time they heard the sounds. This was the last video uploaded to the channel, and nothing like this was ever posted previously. Love Sundays is a channel that lives the van life and explores areas around Cornwall, England. One camping trip, the man decided to go and camp in the middle of nowhere. Though happy with his spot, he was very
back pocket.
Come on. Dude, stop it. There's no way.
That's weird.
Did you see that?
Yeah, what was that? How did that turn on my back pocket though?
Oh no.
Doesn't make any sense.
It should not happen.
No, hell no. This is getting creepy. This is getting really, really creepy.
CJ and his friends continued to search the bridge, followed around by gunshots and other eerie sounds off in the distance. It was after a little time on the bridge that CJ and his friend tried contacting a spirit that lived on the bridge.
If there's any spirits here on this bridge.
As a creator, there's no better feeling than seeing your creative vision come to life. A lot of that magic happens.
Can you let my friend Chris know what your name is first?
I said it's me.
That's Chris, way down there. the light on the right side of the bridge.
Leave.
I just heard leave. What year did you pass away and why are you here?
Trouble. Regret. You shouldn't be here.
Can you tell me your name?
It was them.
Can you go touch my friend?
I feel like someone just touched me. I thought CJ or someone was over here. That was weird. Pay attention.
Okay, pay attention to what though? What would make you upset? What if I said the word? What if I said the word burn or fire? Does that upset you?
Stop what you're doing. I was a little bit aggressive.
Unsure of how they were going to spend the night, CJ and his friend came up with the idea of searching the forests on either side of the bridge. Their findings only got stranger from there.
Figure out what scared us. The wind picks up as soon as you do it.
That was really weird. Who's here with us right now, please? Please answer us.
It said running out the woods.
Whoa. Okay, that might be human.
Okay.
Cut the light, cut the light.
Was that not right where we were?
It sure as hell sounds like it, but it still sounds too far away. I don't know.
Why didn't we be shooting this light, dude? For real. There's no reason.
It's almost midnight.
Yeah. We're supposed to stay here?